Are you looking for a cheap smartwatch? I've got this one right here. I've unboxed it in the past. My wife has been using it for the past 6 months or so, and I wanted to give you guys an update of what she told me about it, and then I've done some testing with it, and I want to show you guys what I'm finding with it. First of all, hi to all the new dads out there. This is Dad Reviews. This is where I give you my unedited, hopefully more authentic look at the products that I like, use, and have, and we test out here on Dad Reviews. So if you're interested in that, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. So this is the LetsFit Fitness Tracker. I'll link it up down in the description below if you guys care to go and check it out. First thing that I noticed about this particular tracker is there's a lot of misspellings in the app. I'm pretty sure it's because it came from China, and obviously they don't know the English language that well, although it wouldn't take much to hire an editor to fix that. So that's one thing that I noticed. Second thing that my wife noticed about this thing is that it's supposed to do a come on whenever you flick your wrist. She's a school teacher, so she mainly wanted the watch for being able to tell the time, and whenever the flick doesn't work on the watch, you actually have to tap the bottom of the watch right here to make it come on, and then you can see the time there. So that's one of the aggravating things that she didn't really care for. Now also, you have to hit this watch in a particular spot for it to actually turn on. Look, it actually worked that time. But it's I don't know if y'all can see this little rectangle thing right there. That's what you have to hit, and then there's different settings. That's how many steps you've taken. This is your heart rate. It does have a heart rate monitor on it. There's different activity settings. She has walk, run, bike, and then back to the time there. So the way you activate the settings here, the activity is you have to hold it down, and then it'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and then you can go and do your activity, and then whenever you're done, you come back to this, and you hold it down again, and it'll turn off there. So it seems that part seems to work all right, the activity, because it knows what you're doing. It knows that, okay, we're active right now, and so it's gonna, I think, take better measurements, better readings of what you're doing. But right now, I've been doing some testing on the inside, the house, and I noticed that whenever I was walking around, it didn't seem to keep my steps correct. So I want to do some testing here with you guys. We're at 2,362. So let's just take a few steps here. I'm gonna use this hand's swinging. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we should have 20 steps. Let's see if it logged it. From my testing, it didn't seem to be quite accurate. 2,393. So the steps aren't quite accurate with it, unlike an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. Well, the Apple Watch I haven't actually used before, but I've heard other people tell me that it works great. The Fitbit we have used before. Those seem to work really great as well. I'd say comparable to the Apple Watch. This one seems to be a little off. It's still good enough if you just you want to have an idea, like if you want a roundabout area of how many steps you have. It seems to work. The heart rate, all I can really tell y'all about that, watch, let me get it there for you. All I can really tell you about it is that I don't know if it's 100% accurate. So this is the heart rate thing here. It's looking, I guess that means it's looking for it right there. And right now I'm a 68. I have no clue if that's correct because I don't have any sort of heart rate monitor to be able to check and see if any of that is accurate or not. So all I can really tell you is that yes, it is finding some kind of heart rate for me. Like I said, I just don't know if it's 100%. Another thing that Krista did not like about it is that whenever you're out in bright light, it's really hard to see the screen, and I kind of know what she means. I believe she has the volume. See, look, this just went up to 101, a heart rate. I don't think that that's accurate because I was just at a 68 and I only took like 10 steps. So I'm not 100%, like I said, on the heart rate. But in the really bright light, she said it's really hard to be able to see the screen of this fitness watch here, so fitness tracker. So is it the best? I don't know. A couple other things that I noticed. I remember whenever we were unboxing it, we figured this out, or I think we figured it out. To be able to charge this thing, I actually like the charge port on here. You basically take off the band, and that is a USB port right there. So all you do is take any sort of device that you can plug this into, a computer, if you have a brick from Apple or Samsung or whatever, you plug that into there and that's what charges it. So that's really nice. The bands are interchangeable. I just realized that that's the wrong side. The bands are interchangeable if you do want to get some other bands. This is the side with the USB right there. That's your heart rate monitor on the back there. It just bubbles up just a tad. It's not too thick. It's actually very similar to a Fitbit as far as styling is concerned. And then this one is just a simple buckle style band right here. Now, a few things that I can also show you. I grabbed my wife's phone while I was checking some things out. And this is the app right here. So for whatever reason, she got logged out of the app. And whenever we tried to log her back in, it said that her email address that we used wasn't correct. So we had to re-register her. And then I'm also noticing whenever I go into the details, it should at least log something within the past 7 days, because the watch can have 7 days of data collected on it, and then after those 7 days it'll sync to it. And for whatever reason, that did not show up. Now I did notice though that whenever I was wearing it and I was on the front page here, it had sunk what was there, and whenever I went over to the heart rate section, my heart rate was actually showing up on there. She's never done anything with the sleep section of it, so I can't really talk about that in any capacity. If you want to add an activity, there is an activity adder right there. Just hit the plus, and then there's a few different things. There's GPS, you can do your GPS activity, and you can add your weight into there. Your device, this is kind of all your settings for it right there. There's call alerts, sedentary alert. If you want to turn that on, it'll tell you to get up. There's an alarm alert, SMS alert. You can take pictures from your phone using the watch by tapping on the watch. So there is a camera setting in there. Let's see, we have the heart rate detection. You can do it automatically or manually, and then lift the wrist to turn it on. She has it set to on, but like I said, it doesn't quite always work. And then there is firmware updates on here and whatnot as well. There are also some other more settings that you can do. There's activity display, what language you want it to be in. You can have the weather forecast on here. Time format, 24, 48 hours. Step length, you know, whatever kind of feet, centimeters, whatever you want to use. Heart rate zones, you can set those. Level of brightness, you can set the brightness to a certain level. There's a do not disturb, and there's a rebooting of the device if you need to reboot it. Then on the last part here is the user settings here, and you can see there's a top today, there's a target setting, so you can set your targets, there's personal info, system settings. Problems is basically just their FAQ. You can go through and read that. You can connect it with Apple Health if you want to. And then the last thing is to synchronize now. Now what I found interesting is that right before I did this review, I clicked that synchronize button, and the synchronize, it didn't, like I said, it didn't pull any of that data that should be stored on here into the app. So that did not show up for me. So like I said, it seemed to be a few issues with the watch, but like I said from the beginning, my wife just wanted something to where she could see the time and something that would give her an idea of about how many steps that she'd take. I believe we paid 30 bucks for this thing, and we used to have a Fitbit, and the Fitbit, from what I can tell, would last about a year. We usually had a problem either with the battery or with the charge port, mainly on both the Fitbit 1 and the Fitbit 2. So, as far as Fitbits are concerned, unless they fix that charging mechanism, I cannot recommend the Fitbit. This thing, the charger, actually, I'd really like it if Fitbit used the type of charging that this watch used, where the USB port is inside the band. That would make it so much better. As far as this is concerned, though, if you're looking for not like hard data, if you just want kind of like a roundabout data, then this will definitely do it. If your kids want something, maybe this might satisfy their need to know how many steps they took at a really decent price. So Like I said, I'll link this up down in the description below. You guys can go and read other people's reviews about it, not just take my word for it. Go and see what other people are saying. There may even be another cheap watch smart fitness tracker out there that I don't even know about. If you guys use one, let me know down in the comments below what your experience has been with it. And I want to know if you guys have ever used a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or a Samsung Gear before, anything like that. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'd be curious to know y'all's experience with it. If you guys are liking what we're doing here on Dad Reviews and you want to see some other smart products, I'm going to put some more right there on the screen. I'll see y'all in some of those videos. Thank you, dads, for watching. That thumbs up is always appreciated, and Dad out.